learner. Have a deep, deep understanding of our sport. A deep understanding, because here's why. If you are a learner, the caricature I use is be able to ace a wrestling test, right? So you might not be able to do every move. You might not be able to do, maybe in competition, you might not use every move. But you yourself should know every move. So that's the goal. Every scenario that can possibly go through a kid's head, every what if at a wrestling camp, you should be able to answer with some form of technical understanding. And then you should ask your athletes to be able to then, the next piece is, on a dummy, they should be in control of their bodies enough to perform every move. Now this becomes unrealistic to when you say, hey, you should be able to do every match and do every move in competition. That's when it kind of ends. But you should be able to ace a test in wrestling. You should know every move, and you should be able to, on a dummy man, perform every move. Take me through it. Because this hunger for learning does much more than just, well, now I know every move. It spreads like wildfire into the curiosity of a person. When you get someone addicted to learning and someone thinking in progression, like when this happens, I have an answer. But when this happens, I have an answer. But when this happens, I don't have an answer. Gotta find an answer. When you get someone thinking in progression, then that's when you get a very, very creative person, a very creative wrestler. And now, the more they become addicted to this idea, the more they do it on the fly, in the match. A scenario they've never seen. They're problem solving. And once you become a problem solver out there in competition, you become way less stressed. Because there's two values. At any moment when you're wrestling, there's two main values that you're fighting for. Wrestling and winning. Those are your two main values. And the more you value winning, the more something goes off script, you will say, oh no, what happened to the script? But the more you value wrestling, the more you value the challenge, when something goes off script, the more you will go, this is what I came for. Now we're wrestling. This is wrestling. Now we're wrestling. And it all starts with this planted seed of become someone who learns everything. Be addicted to the learning. That's something that's always under your control and always accessible. But I preface this with, it's very difficult to say and not do this as a coach. You can't tell a kid to love learning if you don't ever learn. You have to model behavior. You have to model the behavior. So along with that learning, not just the technique, but the mentality, the psychology, this idea of master how you think. Master the type of self-talk it takes to be a competitor. Because as we spend a lot of time as athletes, and maybe even as coaches, convincing ourselves that next time I won't be so nervous. Next time, it's just going to be a little more clear. It was a little foggy today. I was nervous. It's a big match, right? It's a big time match today. But enough of these. With enough workload, if I just work harder, and with enough time, this will fix itself. That's not true. You can't just throw hard work at stuff. Hard work is good in and of itself, but it's compartmentalized in the right place. You can't just throw hard work at every problem and fix it. So again, learning the techniques is one thing. Learning that the way to speak to yourself is a totally another.